Om Shanti. Let's relax as we always start our meditation with a nice relaxation. So just let your mind get quiet and still. Gita's going to be our example tonight. Gita Patel, relaxing. You know how that goes. Nice, deep, calming breaths. And tap right in. Have no thoughts. Om Shanti. Jason, Enid, Elaine Collier, Dexter, husband is present. Welcome everyone. Let's all begin together. Repeat after me. Real simple. Om Shanti. That means I am a peaceful soul. And as you say Om Shanti, Jamelia, feel that peace starting to overcome you. That's it. Om Shanti. Take on the peace. Something we're missing today. And I think we're missing that because I know what the world looks like. Even nature is acting up, huh? Tonight I wanted to talk about being neutral and then what also influences my neutrality. I was really thinking about a slant that we all have. Just think about that. I can call myself a Democrat or Republican, especially in these times. That's what's on the mind. How neutral can I be? And what affects that? And I think today everyone is just trying to prove who's right, including us, right? I have a belief, and how do I come back to center? And how do I recognize that perhaps I was raised a certain way, or I'm leaning a certain way? And I was really wondering about honesty when I'm trying to get an opinion across, or when I am leaning or tapped into my slant. How does honesty play in? There's a word called science. Science used to be very black and white. It was science, almost meaning it's fact. And as I work in medical clinics, we've been asked not to use the word science anymore, because now even science is a political buzzword. So what is my slant? Do I have buzzwords? Do I find buzzwords from others when they speak? which perhaps limits my ability to listen, right? Because in the back of my mind, I know that I am right because of the slant that I have. And because of that, because everybody has a slant, we don't admit that everybody has a slant, I'm lacking honesty. And this also leads to a lack of harmony. It's very hard for people to harmonize. It's very hard to have a conversation because of my slant, right? It's easy to say the other has a slant, but because of my own slant, there is no middle ground. And so I want to think coming back to center. I want to think about stripping myself of all my beliefs. Does that sound hard? Is that a little scary? But I want to strip myself of all of my beliefs so I don't have to prove that I'm right, and so that I don't have to prove that someone else is wrong. I just want the ability to listen. And why is that? Am I doing this for others? That Om Shanti, that peace that I'm trying to obtain? It's very difficult when I have a slant. It's very difficult when I'm tuned into today's news, when I see it everywhere I go, when I hear it. And I don't know that I'm hearing news as much as opinions, the slant. So whatever channel news I watch, there's a huge slant, and I forget that too because my news station, according to my slant, is correct. And it's taking away that peace. It's taking away peace from the world. It's taking away peace from my day-to-day. And I need that. I don't often get to come and sit in front of Lake Travis like this while I'm working. So coming now, I have hummingbirds buzzing around, so maybe I can flip the camera and let you enjoy that as well. But I don't always have the opportunity to come out into nature and find peace. And so I want to have peace while the world is still in turmoil. And so always finding my center, always coming back to neutral ground. This brings me peace. I like to think that everyone wants to do for others. I'd love to just give everyone peace and say, here it is. And no one wants to hear my words. No one wants to hear, here's the method to be peaceful. So if my vibration becomes peaceful, others pick up on that. I forget how intuitive, how receptive everyone actually is. And right now with the political turmoil, what are we picking up on? Intensity, ferocity, destruction, all of these things. This is the vibration of the world, and my antenna of the soul is catching all of that, isn't it? And these are the things that are spreading. So by not having a slant and staying in my center, and by not even having an opinion, I think I can share peace with others. Now, don't be fearful when you hear these things, because I know the world will continue. I know the news will filter through my ears somehow. It's not that I'll become ignorant or tuned out, but the world, no matter what happens with me as an individual, the world continues to turn. The events continue to occur. And I was wondering, I have a vote, super important, right? Everybody get out and vote for your candidate, super important. But as the world turns, besides my vote, the world will continue to turn. I don't know that if I tune out the news that suddenly everything changes, that the slant leans toward the way I think it should. Does that make sense? So why don't I tune out? Why don't I tune out? I think I've heard all the news I need to. I think everyone's trying to get me to see their point of view as best they can. So why don't I let all that happen, and why don't I tap into peace? Why don't I remind myself that I was born a peaceful soul, wasn't I? I was raised as a peaceful child. I knew peace. And as I've grown, I've become a mirror of the world, meaning I've taken on stress. So I want to put that mirror down, and I want to shine like the sun does. Maybe I can see myself as a lighthouse guiding others, again without words, but just being at peace, knowing that everything will be all right. And because of my slant, think about that. It's so important that my candidate gets in, because everything won't be all right unless my candidate does. That's not necessarily true. So why don't I be that sunshine on others, that quiet, powerful sunshine? Why don't I entitle myself the lighthouse that gives to others? And I know, Gay, that, overseeing the laboratory functions that you do in San Antonio, you're like that lighthouse. Margaret raising twins. What did you do for those twins? And Kenny Evans, the same, right? We give to others, we care for others, we nurture. But when it comes to today's environment in the political world, I want to take from others. I want to take your opinion from you because it's not right if it doesn't agree with mine. And so in doing so, I rob myself of peace and I rob others of peace. And if I start to see myself as that lighthouse on the edge of water, I would never ask a boat which candidate you're going to vote for. And if it's not my candidate, I'm going to shut my light and let you crash. So I'm neutral. I'm neutral and I'm tall, planted like the lighthouse and just shining that light, protecting, giving, doing. And what does that take? It takes less energy for me to come back to center. My beautiful sister is watching, raising 3 kids of your own. How do you feel? It's so easy to give to our immediate family. Can you give to a neighbor that disagrees with you, Sharon? I think you do, because I know how sweet you are. And now, how altruistic am I so that when I give out, it doesn't mean I'm going to get back. It doesn't mean that others are going to say you're right and you're at peace and I agree with you. I'm not going to get that back, not from everybody, but I still give unconditionally. I still see myself as the lighthouse, one who's tapping into peace and one who's giving love. Can I give love to everyone? I need to. I think the world needs drops of love, infusions of love. It's lacking. Look at the world, look at politics, look at nature. And now what a beautiful happening though. Peace is coming to the Middle East. We've probably overlooked the peace accords between Israel and Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates, and don't forget about that. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing. Let's hope for more peace. So when I shared that with someone at work, they had said to me that most of our scriptures, whether it's the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita, all things speak about as peace comes. Peace will be the prelude to destruction, that will start to hear more about peace. And this person, by sharing that, was actually trying to take away the peaceful events, and maybe that's true. But why can't we focus on what's working? Why can't we focus on that peace? And why can't I claim that peace and become a messenger of peace? So I'd like you to think about how you're going to do that. My method was to tune out the news because I'll still hear it, so maybe that's cheating. But my method was to tune out the news. What is your method going to be, just so that you can become centered again? And I think as we become centered, this busy thing up here that never, ever, ever shuts off suddenly quiets down. And maybe as my own mind quiets down, I can actually see or hear what truth is. I can actually see or hear what should be important. That it's still quiet outside, no matter what the turmoil is like. That there is still peace waiting for me to tap into and to claim. And that happiness is not something I claim on my birthday or on an anniversary or when I get something that I want. It's just waiting for me. Brother Jay is telling me that he watches 2 opposing news channels so we can see both sides, which is great. But even that energy or that vibration, I'm not so sure that the opposing news channels are peaceful. I appreciate that. I can become educated and hear both sides. Very important. But think about, is that settling me? I've heard both sides. Do I feel better now? Has it relaxed me? And again, because I can't always sit in front of beautiful Lake Travis, how does my imagination work when I'm becoming quiet? Can I envision myself wherever I want so that I can have peace? I want to do a little exercise with you to prove how powerful our minds are. Picture yourself in a kitchen, beautifully clean kitchen, all white, and I have a fresh organic lemon. And there's my knife, and I just start slicing that lemon. And then I squeeze it. Can you smell the lemon? Did you feel bitterness on your tongue? How about roses, red, deep red roses? I can smell that. So when I need to tune out, use your imagination. Even if I can't say imagination, use it. Go somewhere. Go far away and relax. And then come back when you're ready. Settle back in. Know that the day is still going and the events are still occurring and that I can handle it. I see myself as that lighthouse, as that beacon of hope, and one who gives altruistically. So those are just some of the things I wanted to share that I hope you'll think about over the next few days. What is it like to not have a slant? Because I do. And how do I step out of that? How do I come back to center? How can I listen? The listening part is going to take a while because of my slant. I have a very hard time listening, so I'll let that go away for right now. But as I become powerful and strong, I'm going to listen to the other's views, not to judge them, just to hear. There's probably a few good points in there that I haven't heard before. So if you'll join me now, instead of playing music or a closing meditation, because I'm always taking something in through the ears, I'm always hearing the busyness. And when I don't take in music or even the news, the mind is buzzing. Think about that. So right now, join me in silence. Tap into the water behind me. Feel the sun on you. Use your imagination to be here with me. And see how many birds you can hear. See what things you hear as you relax. And start by breathing in deep for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just stay in that state for a few moments. Finally have silence. And smile. There it is. So much beauty around me when I quiet the mind and tap in. Stay there. You're doing it. Come back to center. Feel yourself. Now feel empowered. Own this feeling of peace. Fall in love with this silence, this healing energy. I can't deny it, and I won't. The world is working for me because I see with the eyes of love now. And I'm truly sorry that others are suffering. And so I send them love, like that lighthouse. And the sun is going down. And into that sun I put all my problems, all my worries, all my fears, regrets, everything I don't need, even my complaints and judgments, anything that ails me in the body, desires. Put that in the sun and let it go with the day. Sometimes I worry that, like the setting sun, the days, the years seem to be going quickly now. And that's true. And so I also let go of wasting time. I also let go of missed opportunities. The opportunity to tap in like I'm doing now. The opportunity to share a smile. The opportunity to love others. And to understand that everything will be all right. It always is. Just have to get out of the way of myself and my thinking. Thank you for joining. Know that you really are a peaceful soul. Know that you can love all others and they don't have to love you back. And thank you for doing that. And now join me with an Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I am a peaceful soul. Om Shanti. Anais, thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone's vibration. Let's do this again in 7 days. That leaves me with 7 days to practice coming back to center. Doesn't it feel good? I feel better now. Om Shanti. I am a peaceful soul. Om Shanti.